Hello, we are here kicking the balls tonight. What's up, everybody? Tune in, share your thoughts and opinions. We would like to hear what you have to say on the whole incident with Amir. We were talking about this earlier. We had some point of views that we would like to share. So you guys can jump comments if you want to share your opinion. Feel free. Okay, Lee. So, as saying, Stacey, I know you have raised a question on the laws. What is it? The castle law that you were speaking on earlier.
Yeah.
Where every man has a right to protect themselves in their own home. But you were wondering if that applied to renters or just homeowners.
Right. And
that
I
was a
didn't.
good question.
I looked it up, but I didn't really see anything. So I was wondering, does that apply in either in a situation like this?
Like if you're paying rent, it's your home for that time being. So why wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Talking about a man who was asleep on his couch with his gun, and it was a registered gun, by the way. If somebody can your door, your first reaction is to jump gun. You don't know if it's the police or not. And they shot this man 3 times.
Because they came in, you know what? They
So
came in too silently, though. It was too silently. They should have been a
They used
little
the key.
louder. Should have been a bulldozer, not a key.
They used the key.
yeah,
Unlock the door.
because he was watching the video, it looked like when they was going in with the key, they was going in silently, like, they was being kind of, sneaky. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know nobody
No, it
else's
does seem
opinion, but
like
that's my
it, it does seem like it was sneaky. It was quieter. If they would have did it much louder, like it used to be back in the day when they used the bulldozer um to kick the doors open, it would alarm the young man, and then he probably would have jumped up. But yet they use the
yeah,
key, kick the couch, and then want to say police warrant. He probably was scared. He
yeah.
didn't probably know what the hell to do. I mean, heck to do.
No,
So
not only that, sleep. That's just like, okay, for instance, I know I was asleep a couple of days ago. I know my mother came in the room and he called my name 3 times. Now, 2 times I did hear him call my name, but at the same time, I was still kind of asleep. But after the 3rd call is when I really woke up and was coherent. So when you're waking up, you're not really fully coherent. So he might say police or whatever, but he might not have been fully coherent. You know what I'm saying? So he just reacting. He just heard something, or maybe even saw like, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, the young person they was looking for, I just feel like they made a big mistake, and I want to just know: are they gonna cut up, or are they just gonna deal with consequences? So I would just like to hear you, lady, that.
Something needs to be done. It's even when you watch the live from earlier and they were like, fire the mayor, it's like, I guess the time
Why do they?
when they were, huh?
I was wondering
As
why
far
the
as,
mayor.
I think because at the time, was it during the time, what is her name in Kentucky? Breonna Taylor, when she was killed in her home, when they did the no knock or no warrant, no search, no knock warrant. They were supposed to have been passing laws. I'm not sure if it was statewide or not, but to ban that. And I don't know if he jumped on that right away, or when was he supposed to have admonished that law? But don't certain laws don't always can't be passed through mayors when it comes to policing anyway, right? Am I right? Or I don't know, I could be wrong.
So as a law, do they have to go through someone else also to get it passed?
No, it's just a judge. I
I'm saying,
think they have to go through. I think it's
so
just a
if the
judge.
The judges,
so if the judge denies their hand, then right?
Yeah.
that's what I would
Am I?
think.
So I don't know. I don't know if he tried to get law passed or not. I'm lost.
For now, he
I don't
did a
know.
temporary no warrant unless under certain circumstances. So for now, is you can't use it unless.
Also, too, at the time that they went in, according to the law or what pulled up on your Google search, it says that warrants can't be exercised until 7. It was 6:48.
Right.
So it was before time.
This seemed like a lot of stuff gonna come into play.
So what is the family saying? Has the family spoken out?
Yes, the mom is
What'd you
speaking
say?
out.
Again?
And
The
what she
mom is
say? What
speaking
does
out.
she? And what does the mom have to say about all of this?
She's upset. She's mad. She's it's when you lose a kid to Minneapolis police, she wants that police officer that fired that shot at her son. She wants him terminated. Her son didn't live here in Minnesota. He come here to visit in Minnesota, and then for her son just to be here for a couple of days and his life get taken away from him. That's
Wait a
crazy.
minute. So you mean he didn't live here? He didn't live
No,
here?
no, he did not live in the state of Minnesota. I can't remember where they say he lived at. Let me
So
see
he
if I
was
can
here
find
visiting.
it. He was here visiting. Yes, he was.
Oh wow.
The young man was here visiting. I'm trying to find some on here to read about it.
Yeah, if you could pull that up, that would be great.
It's just that protesting and there's a huge protest downtown right now, downtown Minneapolis. Um, it's just sad. It's just sad. I just can't. I mean,
It's
I can't believe what I'm hearing though. Can I believe
Yeah,
what I'm
because
hearing?
it's almost like you're not even safe in your own home. Even if you want to stay at home and try to stay clear from the BS, now it's knocking at your door. It's like
Most
you
definitely.
don't have any control. It kind of makes you wonder when you got kids out here and sons, especially, how safe are they?
They're
It's
not.
scary. Scary to think about, though. Very scary. Anybody would like to jump in the comments and share your opinion, please feel free. I can also put up the link if you will up.
Um,
it's scary. It don't make any sense. And something needs to be changed. I don't care what anybody have to say about it. I was reading some of the chats when it went live earlier about a couple hours ago. It such asinine comments. It's ridiculous.
People can be so fucking ignorant and so not like, okay, put yourself in. Just because it's not your child don't mean you gotta be a dick about it. It's what I think about some people when they have like these different comments. This is a situation. These police officers need to train better. First of all, your first reaction shouldn't be to shoot. I didn't even hear them say
or police.
it's just too much. Too fucking much. Too much going on in this world. And then if we go into talk about the guy around are you still looking up something grandma? Still with us, grandma?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, because I was finna say, how you not hear me and I was reading?
Oh, you
I was
must have
reading
been on
about
you. If
what.
you was reading, we didn't hear you. Oh, okay.
Nope.
Well, go on and
I was just
read.
telling about. It was just I was just talking about how they use the key. What we talked about earlier, how they use the key to come in. And the young man was laying on the couch. The mom also said that he's a deep sleeper. He was a licensed gun owner, can be seen in the body cam footage. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when they say that the search warrant supposed to start from 7 a.m., like we said, it was 6:48 a.m. when police came in and took an officer kicking the couch he's laying on before he even woke up. Amara then reaches for his gun as he tries to see who is surrounding him. Now, somebody surrounded him. He didn't know that was the police. He was startled, jumped.
That's what I was saying. Woken up out of a sleep, you're really not fully coherent. So you know what
Right. No, because I've had my kids wake me up out of my sleep to ask me, can they go outside? Can I get some candy? And I'm like, what's going on? What you said? Yeah, I don't know what I said.
exactly. Even kids know that. I'm gonna ask my she have sleep. She might say yeah. So kids know you're not fully
Okay.
coherent.
Yeah, you're not coherent enough. You don't know.
Belinda says St. Paul had a knock warrant. Minneapolis put a no knock warrant. Is what Miss Belinda shared with us. Yeah, so I saw that earlier. That what's his Fry, the mayor, has just issued a. I think you were just saying that, Stacey, that Jacob Fry just entered a no knock warrant law or something into place.
They said what now?
You were just Miss Belinda was just saying there's a no or something like that into place.
Oh yeah, he just did that. The mayor did it.
I'm on here. Can you hear me?
So they just did one for St. Paul. What about for Minneapolis?
So they only did one for St. Paul, not Minneapolis?
I don't know. That I'm reading the comment, but let me go look. Because the mayor of Minneapolis did a temporary no knock.
Oh, so they just only did it for that one day, huh?
It's just for one day?
That's crazy. If it's temporary.
What do you mean?
That don't mean it's for one day, though.
Oh, okay.
So temporary. Okay, I was going to say, like, what the fuck? Hey, what's that gonna do?
I don't
They
think
should.
it said
I
one
feel
day.
like
I
they
just
should.
thought temporary. Child, yeah, temporary, but for how long though? That is a good question.
A very good question.
Yeah.
But it didn't say when I read the article.
So Does anybody have? Let's see. Have any live footage of the protest?
Nope.
If it's, I think there may be some going on now on the news. Fox 9 have some.
Let me go. Um,
I would like to
no,
know
Fox
what they're
9 got
doing.
boxing. Fox 9 has boxing, so I don't think we're gonna see no more news until probably 9 o'clock,
Okay.
unless it's live streamed on Facebook or something.
So they stopped their live.
Yeah, I don't see any news.
Okay. Well, I'm quite sure they're still downtown. They're not going nowhere no time soon.
No, they're not. They're not going nowhere no time soon. Remember, they said it was thousands of people down there.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of
Well,
people.
at
Thousands
least
of
you know
people.
this is a peaceful protest, and they ain't tearing up the.
Yeah.
They ain't tying up the city, but they down there writing
They're
on
not running
buildings, graffitis.
and whatnot.
They doing graffiti.
What on the governor or the courthouse or?
I couldn't see what it was. That was on the news earlier. It was on the news earlier.
They just probably scribbling all over downtown.
She said scribbling. She ain't say graffiti. She said scribbling. Okay.
Scribbling.
Down there scribbling all over downtown. That's right. Scribbling all over downtown. So I'm not sure what buildings they
but
were scribbling on, but
this to me is just crazy.
it is crazy. It's sad.
Okay.
Because the young man had a whole life ahead of him. It's very sad.
And then
23 years old.
And he was just here to visit. That is crazy.
Yeah.
22. He was 22.
Okay, 22. I was close, year off. But yeah, and one of them, when I was trying to say, it says that, huh?
Okay, so Miss Belinda says, just was looking at it. They
by the police
department. By the police department. He said they're by the police department. Yeah.
Okay, this one in response to the no knock in the Mayor Fry spokesperson for Mayor Fry told Fox 9, outside of limited circumstances like hostage situations, MPD officers will be required to announce their presence prior to entry. We cannot prevent every tragedy, but we can limit the likelihood of bad outcomes.
What? That don't make sense. You get what
well,
it doesn't.
Just see Jacob.
I mean, because Jacob French fry.
You got a cute little butt, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Perv.
I'm not a perv. Yes, I ain't even gonna lie. Okay, but continue.
He on the side of town.
Are you talking?
He on the side of your town. What happened?
I thought you were in the middle of saying something. I was saying you.
Because I was just
saying
about me looking at he on the side of your town. Stop looking at me.
So
Jacob Fry watching you.
Go into later to the good. Come watch me in my bedroom. See what I could do, Jacob.
Fish fry.
I want too many. Okay.
Oh, that's what it is.
I also wanted to situation with the young man. Listen, Miss Belinda said Friday is lying. That's why he walked off. I did see. I didn't read it, but I did see something
Where did he
where they
walk off
said that
at?
Jacob Fry
The
and
cop
whatever
walked
that
off too when they was interviewing them.
it was a
The,
conference that him and another
yep,
officer said he.
yep.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Today?
It- this was when it first
I think it
happened
was yesterday.
Oh. The boy was
because
killed today, wasn't he?
no,
When was he killed?
Wednesday
was it Thursday,
Wednesday?
Friday, Wednesday?
Wasn't that early Wednesday morning? I thought it was
I
Wednesday
thought it was
morning.
early this morning.
Stacy, where you been?
Girl, no, that was early
Downtown
Wednesday.
scribbling on the buildings. Stacy,
Probably.
Stacy, where you been? Downtown scribbling on the buildings. About some early morning.
This morning, girl. This has been going on for days, a couple of days now.
Oh, Lord have
Yeah,
mercy.
Okay,
yeah, we
let's
ain't
see.
done. Hey, Miss
Oh,
Belinda.
it's something on YouTube.
On
It's something
YouTube?
on YouTube that says Jacob Fry is a hilarious idiot. Wow, they went there
Oh,
with the man. Okay.
oh.
It's also on there that the parents want him to
Be
resign or
removed
something.
as mayor. Yeah.
Yeah, remove. Yep. So that's.
I'm
I
trying to
mean,
find it. I'm trying to pull it up here on.
you gotta hurry. We got 15 seconds left.
We ain't got no damn 15 seconds. We got time.
Since you've been away, boy, I ain't got no plans. No. I'm about to
Stop
go
it.
downtown.
Okay. It says Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and intern Chief Amelia Huffman faced the anger of community activists press conference Thursday, the release of MPD camera footage of Amir Locke's killing.
Yep.
Okay, let's see
Yep.
what else I can find because they did walk off. That they did. Let's see.
Stacy, you know damn well you ain't no white
Minneapolis
lady.
police.
No, I'm brown.
Hold on now. Minneapolis police chief walks out of conference while being grilled over Amir Locke's death. Activists attended the news conference where Huffman announced the release of body camera footage incident in which Locke, 22-year-old black man, was shot while lying on a couch by SWAT team during dawn raid. The case has struck many of the 2020 killing of George Floyd by police which drove nationwide protests and discourse about race and relations in the U.S. In Thursday's press conference filmed by Fox 9, Huffman and described how many department officers had used a key to enter property where Locke lying on a couch during an investigation in which police said he was not a suspect. She said the barrel of a gun had been spotted from under the blanket, which had become more fully exposed. Huffman said that's when the decision over whether the threat was of great bodily harm and if he needed to take action to protect himself and his parts. Huffman had outlined the details of the case. Fry told the press conference that we need transparency, which was the most footage of the incident. Then the questions from the floor started to get heated as the pit by Locke had been referred to as in an earlier press release. As the question was Fry turned and walked of the door on their one person off camera shouted, I was walking out of conference, transparency, you are murderers. Another shouted, you owe nation and I'm just being honest, y'all. Okay. Fry in the way of killing, Fry has issued moratorium temporarily halting all not search warrants bone of tension among lawyers and activists. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, the ambulance, questioned use of the no-knock warrant in Locke's death, saying it had echoes of the circumstances that had led to Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky in March 2020. Crump said the tragic of Amir Locke shows a pattern of no-knock warrants having consequences for Black Americans. Locke's mother, Karen Wells, told CNN that their son had obtained gun legally and had a permit. He made sure that he did his research. Everything was going to be legal, she told her, because they've been watching all their lives about throughout the nation on our Black males. So there you have it. I was glad that lady got up there and called out. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
When it got heated and they asked questions, they just talked away. So
right, that's what I seen too. The cop in the mirror, because I think she was kind of a little, yeah. They put her on Front Street. That cop in that mirror.
Well, she tried to say like they had to make a split decision. She tried to make it seem like something, but it wasn't. Come into somebody's house and see them on the couch under a blanket at that. Expect them to not react, waking up. Like again, I keep saying, when you're first waking up, you're not cold. Your first reaction, if you're laying there with a gun, your first reaction is to grab your gun because you don't know who the hell out.
Exactly. Anybody could be breaking in.
So they walked away. They didn't know what else.
It's kind. You're right. It is. It's kind because you got one eye open. It's blurry. It's sad. It's just sad because he was young, very young man,
and his life was taken over something for one. It didn't have nothing to do with him, and it was just taken just carelessly.
Yep.
Okay, I'm listening to it now.
Good evening.
Can y'all hear?
Our city has been through a lot.
Yeah.
The pain that we've been experiencing on a weekly, if not daily basis is only compounded by the complexities of the circumstances that we face. That's something that I've been grappling with every day, and I know people in our city have as well. Now, in grappling with it and having some of these hard discussions that we need to have, one of the first steps that is necessary is transparency, good, bad, or ugly. And in achieving transparency, it's essential, and it was essential in this case that we release the body-worn camera footage. I do want to make sure that you understand the considerations that are in place when we release body-worn camera footage and making sure that we're transparent every step of the way. First, prior to releasing the footage, we want to make sure that the family that is grieving has an opportunity to see it first. That is a non-negotiable thing. Second, about a year ago, we instituted a policy in place that prohibited officers involved in a critical incident from reviewing body-worn camera footage prior to giving a statement. Now, that policy in some instances is in fact trumped by the state law. The state law says that body-worn camera footage is private or non-public unless one of several exceptions are met. Those exceptions are somewhat arbitrary and in general are to be determined by local elected officials. The state law should be changed so that there is more clarity, there is more transparency, and people throughout our city know what to expect with regards to its release. Anyone who watches these videos, no matter the circumstances, at the very least experiences a deep and unsettled feeling. It's gut-wrenching. No matter the circumstances, a man, Amir Locke, has lost his life. A family is grieving and has forever been changed. Regardless of the circumstance, we must hold those facts in our heart. This video raises about as many questions as it does answers, and those answers we need to be providing as quickly as possible through a number of investigations that are in fact already underway, whether through the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension or the St. Paul or Minneapolis police departments. We intend to get answers as quickly as possible and in transparent fashion, recognizing that as of tonight, not all of those answers can be provided. These issues are complex, and I know there are so many here that are grieving and don't care as much about the complexity because, let's face it, a man has lost his life. But it is our job, it is my job as a leader to figure it out. I do not want to put the public or our officers in harm's way. These two principles, they are not mutually exclusive. They are up to us to work together to get the necessary resources, to provide the necessary information, and to have a willingness to both ask uncomfortable questions and then receive uncomfortable answers. Truth and justice must be our guiding principles, and make no mistake that they will be. So for tonight, I know that so many people are grieving and gathering with their friends and their family. They want to process, they want to reflect the tragic events of the last days. And they're still also feeling the grip of what our city has experienced in the form of so many crises over the last several years. Take care of each other. And from tonight, as we look ahead, we are committed to this work, to each other, and to swift transparency. I'll pass it to our interim chief, Amelia Hoffman.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Let me first acknowledge, like Mayor Fry, the loss and pain in our community. These events unfold in seconds, but the trauma is long-lasting. A young man lost his life, and his friends and family are in mourning. Community members are in pain and have questions, and rightfully so. And the course of the lives of our officers has been changed forever. It's a sobering moment. Community trust is a public safety requirement. In Minneapolis, our community safety work is only as good as the public trust that we have built, and we have plenty of work ahead of us. Events like this tonight, as well as community conversations that I've had yesterday and today, are part of that work. The decision that we made to release this footage is not necessarily common among local governments, but I believe it is the right decision. My initial priority, like Mayor Fry's, was for the parents of this young man to be able to see this video before it was released to the public. And they had the opportunity to do so this afternoon. I'm grateful to all of the folks in the city whose work made it possible for us to release this video to you tonight, and to Mayor Fry for his partnership and his shared commitment to building public trust and rebuilding community safety. I'm under no illusion that processing this video will be easy. It won't be. It shouldn't be. These are wrenching videos to watch. They're painful. But it's necessary. And I hope that it provides some answers along with the questions. And so here is a brief recap of the events that led up to the video and the events that you saw in the video. So as many of you know, this involves an underlying homicide investigation that was undertaken by the St. Paul Police Department. Their investigation led them to identify several suspects and 3 locations in the city of Minneapolis. And they asked the Minneapolis Police Department SWAT team to execute the search warrant at 3 apartments in the building on Marquette. Both a no-knock and a knock search warrant were obtained for those locations so that the SWAT team could assess the circumstances and make the best possible decision about entry. As you saw in the video, the team approached the door and they used a key. There was no need to force entry. There was no breaching. There was no ram involved. They used a key to open the door and announced police search warrant before they crossed the threshold. The team was announcing police search warrant as they proceeded into the apartment. Their job was to make entry deliberately to assess any threats that were inside. As they proceeded toward the back of the apartment, as you saw in the video, there was a couch, and you can see that there's a form under a blanket or a comforter that begins to rise up. The officers were approaching. They were giving commands to show your hands, show your hands. And as they got close, you can see, along with an individual emerging from under the blanket, the barrel gun, which comes out from the blanket and becomes more fully exposed as you move frame by frame through the video. And then the still shot shows the image of the firearm in the subject's hands at the best possible moment when the lighting was fully on him. That's the moment when the officer had to make a split-second decision to assess the circumstances and determine whether he felt like there was an articulable threat, that the threat was of imminent harm, great bodily harm or death, and that he needed to take action right then to protect himself and his partners. Ultimately, that decision of whether that threshold was met will be examined by the county attorney's office that reviews this case. The homicide investigation in St. Paul is ongoing. Mr. Locke was not named in the original search warrant, and so at this point it is unclear if or how he is connected to St. Paul's investigation, but they are continuing to work dedicatedly on that case. They were on scene. They did search and recover items that they believe are of evidentiary value in their homicide investigation, and that work continues. The investigation by the BCA is ongoing. The Minneapolis Police Department will also make an assessment of policy and procedure violations in a separate internal administrative investigation. There are multiple jurisdictions and multiple investigations bound up in this discussion, and that makes information sharing extremely complicated. I want to be direct with you. Due to the multi-jurisdictional considerations, I am limited in what I can say. I'm going to take questions, as will the mayor, and we will do our best.
Chief, this was a young man presumably sleeping, had very little time to react. He was probably stunned. I mean, are you going to look at your policies and possibly call this justifiable in the way that everyone's seeing this footage?
So we will definitely look at all of the events in this case that led up to this incident. We will be re-examining our policies, of course. Our agency is committed to meeting best practices and tactical operations among agencies vary wildly. There is no single best practice for making these kind of entries. And even among agencies in the Twin Cities, agencies may use different tactics on different search warrants, and different agencies have different policies. So certainly I think that will be a valuable conversation.
Was Mr. Locke a suspect in the crime?
I cannot speak for the investigation in St. Paul because I don't have the facts of that case. But St. Paul is working to understand the evidence that they collect in the homicide investigation. And I have been assured by Chief Axtell that they will make information public as soon as they have it available.
How do you define threshold? Because you can clearly see in the video that no words were spoken by those officers before the answer. Yesterday you said that they were loudly announcing their presence and knocking on the door. That didn't happen. You saw it all in the video.
Right. So in the video, they open the door with the key and announce police search warrant before they enter the apartment.
Didn't hear that.
It's just not true.
I definitely encourage everyone to view the video and make that assessment for themselves.
Officers are only to speak one at a time when they come in. I mean, in other words, if that police training 101, that only one officer speaks. In these circumstances, why were all of them screaming and shouting at once in ways that you could not determine what they were actually saying?
So certainly when we're doing a more controlled action, like a felony stop, we clearly identify one person to be speaking. In this case, the officers were advancing into the apartment and also into separate rooms. And so you do have people giving commands, loud commands, and repeating police search warrant, police search warrant.
Chief, yesterday the state police simply articulated that he pointed the gun in the direction of the
Exactly,
officer.
Ms.
Did not
LONDA.
language just
point to specifically in the video where he points the gun at the officer?
Yeah, so if you look at that still image, even though you don't see all of the officers, the involved officer was just outside the frame in the direction that that barrel is emerging from the blanket.
It looked to me as if that hand was pointed toward the floor.
And certainly when the county attorney's office reviews that case, they will be carefully examining all of those factors. And I'm absolutely positive they will take a look at that. Of course, we all know these events happen very rapidly. And as there's a gun emerging in your direction, you're forced to make a split-second decision about when it's a threat.
Chief Huffman, no, hold on. Chief Huffman, no, not. Okay, I'm not a threat. I don't have a gun. Okay? Don't treat me like I'm a threat. This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is. When I agreed to work with you on the work group, we talked about the importance of transparency and accountability. And here, what we are seeing is business as usual. And you know this, Amelia. You know this, Jacob. I don't know how you guys slept that night. I couldn't sleep at night. Tears from a mother's perspective, thinking about what happened. I saw the picture of Amir. He looks like a boy. My son is 17 years old. He has slept on his friends' couches for sleepovers. So we cannot sit here and whitewash this and pretend that it's okay. You knew that I was not going to stand for police violence and a push for accountability, yet you asked me to be a part of the work group. And I knew what I thought I was signed up for. This isn't what I signed up for. I understand if you're not comfortable having me continue to co-chair, that's your prerogative. I signed up to help bring recommendations because we're tired of being killed. We're tired of the cover-ups. We're tired of the excuses. And to hide behind the St. Paul Police Department, the deadliest police force in the state of Minnesota, is unacceptable. You all had no business agreeing to carry out a warrant, and now you're claiming that's part of their investigation. You don't know. Well, why the hell did you all sign up to do this in the first place? There was a homicide that happened at 1-something in the morning on Hennepin Avenue. Someone was killed, and then the person drove an SUV. They're still at large in Minneapolis, potentially a threat to residents. But you all go do something for St. Paul Police, and now you're trying to hide behind that decision. It's not acceptable. We are ready for change. When the people voted to re-elect you, Jacob, they not only showed that they wanted to see a new leader, right? Not saying you're not the person who got re-elected, you got re-elected. But what they were expecting is a new beginning. That's why they gave you more power and authority. So that is what we want to see as the residents of Minneapolis. We don't want to see cover-ups. We don't want to see whitewashing. People are asking very simple questions that have still not been answered. Amelia, you're saying you want to be the chief? Then act like it. Demonstrate integrity. Don't cover up for what those cops did. If they knew that the kid had a gun as he started waking up, they dropped their weapon. They didn't do that. One cop opened fire and took the life of a child who was trying to go back into his blanket. Any mom can see what happened there. So I can't tolerate the whitewashing. I'm sorry, y'all. We can't do this. I know you have your narrative. I know you have your script. I know you guys didn't personally go shoot somebody, but you do have the opportunity to make it right, to talk about the fact that you changed the no-knock warrant policy. Where's the evidence of that? That wasn't present on what happened to Amir Locke. So if I'm going to be the co-chair of this group, I'm expecting strong leadership. I'm expecting integrity, and I'm expecting accountability. You guys aren't going to waste my goddamn time.
I know that's right.
And I don't care. You guys had your security trying to stop me. I can be used to come speak the truth about what needs to happen. But when it's time to call out these inconsistencies, these inaccuracies, the lack of information, I got to sit in the back or even not even be invited. I'm not here for it. We fought too long, too hard. It's people in jail, including Cortez Rice, trying to get the court to show what's happening in the courtroom so people can see what's going on. People have put their lives on the line because we're ready for change. So we're expecting from this point forward for you guys to do something different. I'm not playing. We're not here for it. We're not here for it. I'm only committed to working on this work group if you all are committed to being honest and transparent and not covering up the bullshit. Thank you.
Why did you take pictures of his gun?
Yep.
But don't
Time for them to go.
gun of the officer who killed him. Why have you not released that?
I'm glad she said what she said.
Okay.
Why did you release his gun? That was a disgusting gun.
Are they still talking about it?
Yeah, it's almost over.
It is utterly
Okay.
disgusting that you would release a picture of his gun, even though he never fired his weapon. And you know he didn't fire his weapon, that you had both seen the video. This is the kind of lack of transparency that Laquita is exactly talking about. When you send out these sensationalistic pictures of his gun, a man who has never committed a crime, but you don't release the video, or rather the pictures of the officer's gun.
So, Miss Gross, thank you for being here, and Miss Levy
What's her
Armstrong,
name? I met her before.
thank you for your strong words. You
Michelle.
acknowledged and rightfully pointed out that at this moment in time, we need accountability, we need leadership, and we need transparency. You asked whether we wanted you to continue as co-chair. The answer is yes. We are dead serious about seeing the necessary changes through. And the necessary changes start with being honest and transparent. That begins with all of you here today and releasing body camera footage in the immediacy so that people can see exactly what is in it, good, bad, or ugly. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on to getting the necessary facts of the case, and I know, speaking from experience, that there is an ongoing tension between getting things out quickly and getting things right. We want to get things right. We want to, excuse me, we want to gather the necessary evidence to make sure that we are not telling you something that is inaccurate now, only to correct it a day later.
Why was Amir Locke referred to as a suspect?
And so I'm going to ask,
Why was Amir Locke referred to as a suspect in the MPD's press release?
That's right.
I don't know. So can you
And
speak to
again,
that?
why was his
Yeah, let's answer that question.
One question at a time. We do want to answer the questions, but I would also prefer just to one question at a time. To your question, I do not know.
Does the chief know? Can the chief answer that question?
Somebody knows something.
So yesterday, at the time that we were putting out the press release, we didn't have as much information as we have now, of course. And so it's unclear, certainly unclear yesterday, but it remains unclear if or how Mr. Luck is connected to St. Paul's investigation. And more information will be coming as St. Paul digs further into the case.
Refer to him as a suspect in a press release. If you didn't know. If you
That's
didn't
all the
know.
time we have, everyone. Let's call it.
No.
Was anyone apprehended as part of this?
Last time to go. Questions about you. Last time to go.
You are a murderer!
You owe us answers.
This is a shame.
Time to run.
Fighting against. This is what we've been fighting against since George Floyd was killed. Running away from accountability and transparency. This is shame. Residents or people in Minneapolis need to know this cannot continue. They killed a young man who was sleeping. He did not even.
Oh, did it just cut off? Cut her off?
There you have it. Stacy, it knocked her out, but you know how they run away from, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, got too heated and questions they couldn't answer, and they was ready to run. So I have a few comments. It says, they're going to hire her. That's from Ms. She also says she's happy for. That was the mother that was speaking, right?
Oh, okay.
I
think so.
believe that was
I don't
the
know. I
mother
wouldn't
that
have
was
to watch
speaking.
the
I am
footage.
also happy for her, and she spoke up. She called them out on their bullshit. I think that was mother speaking, and if that was the mother speaking, I am glad for her as well, because she come out on their bullshit. She says they had to make a split decision. You walked into somebody's sleep on the couch under a blanket. yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't try to cover this up so they can get away. I feel that's just my personal. Oh, he's back. 1 second.
I'm here.
Let's get her back in here.
Yeah, they walked off. Let me see if I could finish. Let's see.
So she's back with us. Can you hear us, Stacy? Oh gosh, she left again. Yeah. Okay. What is on?
I'm here. I'm here, Grandma. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, everybody's back.
Yep, I hear y'all.
Okay. But that was
This
that was
Michelle Gross was talking. Hold on.
See in the video that it was never fired. In fact, he never even pointed it
Grandma,
at an
are you
officer.
back with us?
Yet they will not answer
Okay.
why the question of why they released that
Are you
sensational
both guys? Are both of you guys back with us?
I'm here.
But yet they did
yes,
not release
I'm here.
anything about the officer except
Okay.
his name
That was
until finally
the WWAC talking. So that wasn't the was that the mother of the person?
I don't think
Was
so.
that the
This
mother that was
lady,
speaking?
no, her name is Michelle Gross. She's a it says Communities Unite Against Police Brutality.
She's an activist.
Yeah, she's a community activist. I met her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was community active. They got a lot of community
I thought
actives now.
she's the mother.
No, I think it was a lot of different community activists there, and they just
She
started
called
going
them
off
out on
on
their
it.
bullshit. Is what I feel.
Yeah, she really did. Well, we're gonna see how this play out. But did you hear how they asked they were going to investigate whether even though he doesn't have a criminal record, they're going to investigate whether he was involved.
Trying to run from the point.
Right. So basically, I wonder they're going to try to justify it.
Why was
if he was involved in a crime, so then basically they have the right to do what they did. No, they didn't.
What you gonna do an investigation for? You didn't kill the man. Ain't no use to doing no damn investigation. He can't go to jail.
Right, but wasn't his friend or somebody involved in the crime. They wanted to try to.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his friend.
You're going in and out.
What'd you say?
I said it was his.
Right. So if they could prove
he was okay. Correct me if. But
the chat is breaking.
And he was here to right. Are you guys still with me? I can't.
I'm here, but I just can't hear.
What I was trying to ask is, he's here to visit, right?
I think he was. I'm not sure.
He was here to visit. He didn't live here in the state of Minnesota.
Okay. How long had he been up here for visiting? Do anybody know?
Me now.
I can hear you.
Not that
Do
long.
anybody know how long he was up here visiting?
I don't think he was up here that long.
Okay, so obviously he wasn't up here long enough to commit any
Can you
kind
hear
of
me?
crime either.
No. So I think this he must have just got there that week.
What investigation are they going to as far as what's going on? I don't.
But I mean that doesn't. They can't bring him back. They can't charge him. They just trying to cover their own asses because they don't want to. They're gonna have to
So
pay them
what
parents.
investigation are they going to do?
Yeah, what is there to investigate after you already saw the video cam? What is there to investigate? They just trying to stick with the fact
So
that
they
they
wanna
keep trying to say he pointed, because they trying to say he pointed the gun at them. He didn't point the gun at anybody. Exactly, and that he pointed his gun at them. When he grabbed his gun, if you look at it, how was he pointing it? He just was coming from up under his blanket and grabbing his weapon. That's not pointing it at somebody.
Like I said,
so he was in St. Paul visiting.
Just waking up.
That wasn't St. Paul, downtown Minneapolis, wasn't it?
That's what it said, downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah,
those apartments in here in St. Paul.
He wasn't in St. Paul.
No,
those are downtown Minneapolis.
Right. I thought I heard somebody say St. Paul.
I'm reading the chat.
Okay.
Downtown Minneapolis.
Okay, yep, that's what, because it looked like downtown Minneapolis. Because I live in St. Paul, and those apartments don't look like, I've never seen those apartments downtown. There's very little places to live at downtown St. Paul anyway. So,
well, let me Google the apartments.
The apartments, okay.
Barlow?
Yeah, his gun was down because he picked the gun up. So picking up your gun, you're not. Who these people? These people must need glasses or something.
No glasses, they just need common sense.
Yeah,
they don't have common sense. They got common sense. They just ignorant. But yeah, it's sad. You know,
it had to be Minneapolis because Minneapolis police responded to St. Paul.
No, right. That was Minneapolis downtown.
Yeah, they said it was downtown Minneapolis.
Right, because Minneapolis cops is the one that that did the warrant thing. So it's a shame, though. It really is a shame. Because that mom, she said, she ain't gonna be able to talk to her son, see her son, none of it. Because why? He's gone and he's gone. Now she's got to be, getting his funeral ready. It's crazy.
Okay, y'all want to finish this one? Okay, listen to what she was saying because this made sense to what she said. Hold on. Okay, now listen.
Though they never made an allegation that he fired it. And you can clearly see in the video that it was never fired. In fact, he never even pointed it at an officer. But yet, they will not answer the question of why they released that sensationalistic, demonizing picture. But yet, they did not release anything about the officer except his name until finally now. And they certainly did not release a picture of his gun. Wouldn't that be more relevant to news media? That was the gun that was fired. Why would they release a picture of this man's gun? What was the sole purpose of that? Well, we know what it was. It was sensationalistic demonization of a victim of police murder. Plain and simple. And I'm disgusted by it. I'm disgusted by the fact that these elected officials and appointed officials cannot actually answer a simple question. They said, we'll do one question at a time. I think I asked my question 3 times. Why did you release the pictures of that gun? What was the purpose of releasing those pictures? And yet they ran away. Time's up. ran away without ever answering that question. There was not one legitimate reason for releasing that picture. It was about associating a man with a gun to try to create a narrative to justify what the police did. That is what happened here tonight. That's what happened when they released that yesterday. It is reprehensible. It is disgusting. We are not tolerating it as a community any longer. And that's why we had to be here tonight. Thank you.
Again, you were just watching as Mayor Jacob Fry and Interim Chief Amelia Huffman react to the recently released body camera video.
Yep.
So who was that?
So they just made it. Her name was Michelle Gross.
Is she?
She's the community. Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot.
This is just sad all the way around. Not gonna end.
Try to cover this and try to make this person out to be something they probably weren't, to justify what they did. He might have lived in St. Paul, but he must have been somebody in Minneapolis, because that's where it was at, in Minneapolis. Okay, so now that we've gotten through that story, I wanted to also pick up a story about the young man who killed the girl and threw the baby in the river.
Oh, killed the girl.
All because he was out here. Yeah, all because he was out here the dingaling and didn't want his to find out. But if you're meant that much to you, why was you even out here cheating to begin with? But to take me and throw a baby in the river,
yeah, that is beyond heartless. And that's his own child. And I mean, come on. And just like the mother said in the news, yeah, she said if he didn't want to be with her anymore, all he had to do was leave, you know. But from what I remember hearing about that, he lured her to that area and killed her and took the baby and threw that baby in the river.
So he was plotting and planning from the beginning. They said he was at the everything.
Yep.
When she had the baby.
Yep. So what did he go to the hospital for? I mean, like you said, he was plotting. He never.
I mean,
yeah, he never wanted in the first place.
He was there through the process of figuring out. But if you know being born, and then you can turn around and take the fuck.
He didn't want that baby to begin with.
You have to be the most coldest motherfucker. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All the rest of these niggas be away and just never take your to your facility. Like, don't throw your 2-day-old baby in like it was a bottle of beer that you just down and threw in a river.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Did
he
they
never
find
wanted the baby in the first place. No, they never found the baby. She gonna have to float up somewhere.
Yeah, because she's later. Baby. And then he did kill the mom too, right?
Yeah, he killed her first. Shot her in the head.
The mom and left her on the side of the road.
Sure did.
And what state was this?
That's
I think Memphis.
Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Or yeah, well, Memphis. Yeah, Memphis. Crazy. And it you know, it's so many stories.
Well, he
like
did get arrested. Yeah, he did get arrested. So they charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and tampering with evidence because he threw the gun in the river. But he confessed to it too. I think that's why when he confessed,
Well,
he probably knew what was going on. Yeah, he confessed simply because when people confess and plead guilty, that when they prove, okay, instead of saying, let's say he was going to say, I'm going to plead not guilty. That means he'd have to go to court, have a trial, and prove that he's not guilty. But because he knew he was guilty, all the evidence is stacked up against him. He went in here, pled guilty, so that way he could just get life in prison instead of the death penalty. Because you already know the prosecutors probably already had that on the table.
It should still be on the. As I'm concerned.
Okay. If I was the mother, I wouldn't care if he pled guilty or not. He already confessed, so let's keep the death penalty on the table. Don't take it off. Nope, I want him with the death penalty. He killed a baby. Come on, and the mother. Whew. Child.
I thought they found the baby. The lie I read is that they found the baby yet. I can try to Google and see if there's any new.
I don't think they found that baby yet.
And see if there's any new information yet.
Let me see.
All because you was out here tricking off your little stinking ding-a-lane, and you didn't want to get credited, and you still now your ass is there. Come on, man.
I don't see nothing, so who knows?
Okay, let's see here.
I don't know, but we'll hear about it if that baby do come up. It's not that cold, so the water ain't frozen, so she's somewhere.
Yeah, so they don't have any information. I just tried to pull it up. They don't have any new information. I mean, that was a little baby. I mean,
Newborn.
But do you really think he threw the baby in the river, or did he just saying that to throw them off?
You know what? That's a good point. Who knows? Ain't no telling what he did that baby, because I don't care what you throw in the river, eventually it's gonna come up. He didn't tie the baby down with nothing. She too little, her body gonna bloat anyways and come up. So this is just strange.
If he threw that baby in the river, he probably did tie something to it. If he crazy to kill the damn mama, he didn't kill that baby. He could have tied something to her body. Her body might have not even been a river. He could have just to throw them off. That's some stuff.
People out here, we don't even know. That's what I'm saying. Like, how heartless are you like they said, he was at the hospital. I don't know if he just came to the hospital after the baby was born, but if he was there to see the child being born, and then you could turn around and just kill you a demon.
Of your child,
Unless
he's dealing with mental illness.
I don't go with mental illness.
I don't think that's mental illness. That's called was out here cheating, and I'm trying to hide it from my. That don't got nothing to do with mental illness. Narcissistic, call that.
Yep, a narcissist.
She said a narcissist.
Well, whatever the hell you're gonna do, damn That motherfucker
Okay.
right is all I got.
Because they downtown scribbling on them
Yeah,
buildings.
I'm just saying. He ain't scribbling on no business because he locked up. He's scribbling on the wall 4x4 padded room.
I bet you he's gonna try to. I bet you he's gonna try to play crazy now and play a suicidal role.
Damn coffee. I'm gonna cuss these people out. They don't smell like no. This don't look like no mocha. But anyhow, but
Not
I
the
really
mocha.
enjoy the mocha, and it smell like coffee though. That's all right. They're gonna hear the end of my mouth today. I'm gonna my $5 back. I'm telling you, they're gonna tired of seeing this little black car. So, anything else you guys want to talk about?
So, no.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I have
with
a
all
lot that I want to talk about. I just don't know. Y'all got the.
Yeah, this is ridiculous with the police shootings. If it ain't the police shootings, you got men out here just killing women, and they're not just any old woman. They're girlfriends and wives that these women are trying to get out of these abusive relationships, and they killing them. It's ridiculous.
See,
some of these women
are
what too because they're scared what's going to happen. You know.
You said what now?
I said there's a lot of women that's scared to get out of the relationships because they're scared what's going to happen to them, or they don't want to tell on them. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to say nothing back. They want to keep their mouth shut. How you expect for somebody to help you if you don't want to help yourself?
Well, because it's
put your hands on me and
thing of
10 fingers up.
No, with a lot of some women, it's that thing of hoping they're gonna change. If this will change, and it's
It
not.
only get worse. Been there, that it only get worse. Been there, done that. I've been abused. Been there, done that.
We have both been there. And abusive men don't change because they're narcissists, be controlling. They don't like rejection. It's just all of.
Yep. But God got a way of dealing with these men and women that wants to put their hands on people. Y'all keep it up. Hope y'all out there listening. Keep it up. You want to be in control.
Keep your damn hands to yourself. You ain't nobody daddy or nobody. That's what I have to say.
I mean, they might.
But you guys, yes, they might what?
Yeah, this was fun.
Well, you guys, I enjoyed this discussion. You have a good night. I'm going to call it over and out. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Peace out.
You're welcome.
Hang up.